wearing a spacesuit, pretty cool opportunity, and also filming in Arizona. And we also do inspiring programs for kids. These are kids that had never seen an office before, right? And we took them to the Google office down in Chelsea in New York City. Y'all know about the Google office? How many of you guys saw the movie Internship and saw to know how to Google office, how to get down? Oh man, we got some things to teach y'all. We got some things to teach y'all. So yes, the Google office is an amazing place. We kind of spoiled them a little bit. I think they're kind of ruined now because they now realize how cool an office can be when you work in one of these types of careers, all right? And this is something that I grew up hearing, right? I was not always this guy that's super excited and into STEM. I was a kid that wasn't into STEM. I grew up in the south side of Chicago. How many of you guys know about the south side of Chicago? Okay, yeah, we know how to get down there, right? So I didn't see STEM as a pathway to financial freedom, to entrepreneurship, to engineering my purpose, right? I grew up in a place where I didn't have access or opportunities or know-how into how to get into these kinds of careers. And I used to see these negative things about people that look like me, right? When I grew up, I used to ask my mom, Mommy, am I going to jail when I get older? Like, it was kind of messed up, but she would laugh it off. But then later on in my life, right, I was this kid that wasn't engaged in STEM. Again, I became this high school kid, and this is from my 10-year challenge on Instagram, if y'all remember that. So I was disengaged. This is my chemistry grade, and if some of you guys can't see it because it's too small, that's a C+, and a couple of these other grades aren't too good either, right? I was the kid who was disengaged in science. I was the kid who was disengaged in STEM, and I had no idea that it was such a fascinating thing to me because it wasn't something that was made cool for people like me, right? So here's the thing that got me off the ground. And here's why I do what I do for kids. This guy circled in this picture, that's my grandfather. He was one of the first black men that was an engineer that had a degree. And what I came across in high school after that picture was that he created a circuit for the VCR, all right? This was a guy who I never was connected with. I was raised by a single parent. He was my father's father. And so this gave me the insight that maybe this career path can be for me. Maybe I can do something like this. But so many other kids don't have access to that. And that's so important. How many of you guys have engineering or science backgrounds or aspire to have those in the future? We got some young people in here, right? Yeah. So for those of you, right, my grandfather, he passed away when I was 12, but I had no idea that he had done all of these amazing things. And part of it is because in engineering education, in science education, and in our undergraduate degrees, and even in high school, we get taught to go in our research labs and shut up, right? Go in our research labs and stop talking, right? Don't get out there and share with the world all the amazingness that you do. Don't create things that showcase to people how brilliant you are, because it's more important for you to stay in a lab and just build stuff and make stuff and for people to just see the byproduct of that. Well, and I'm not blaming him for this, but he failed to communicate to me what he did. And for that reason, I grew up without a role model, even though I had one in my immediate family. So for those of you that are thinking about this, right, that are thinking about going into these career paths, maybe you should channel some of my energy too. You know, if you're gonna get into STEM, if you're gonna get into science, if you're gonna get into technology, engineering, bring some of that excitement and enthusiasm into what you do, and go out and talk to people about it. You can't just sit in your silos and stay in your research labs. You need to showcase people that this is a possibility for you. Because there are little boys and girls that grow up not thinking that this is a possibility, and I was one of them. So this is a project that we're all culminating into. If you guys remember the show MTV's Pimp My Ride, I don't know, we got some young folks in here. Y'all remember that show though? Pimp My Ride? Okay. So we just got Mad Mike, the actual pimp, the mechanic from Pimp My Ride. He's gonna be helping us build our Magic Cool Bus. So if you guys wanna talk to me afterwards, I'm happy to take some more conversations about that. But just wanted to give you guys a little background and insight into what I do and why STEM is important to me. So, this is actually the final day of what we are calling the STEM Success Summit. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about that after I introduce one of my good friends here, my main man who also has a science background, King Gino. But we are doing a virtual summit that is basically designed to give you guys tools and power and access to STEM resources for free. And we're going to do a prize giveaway to get you guys to sign up a little bit after this. But I want to introduce you guys to a friend of mine. Just met him, but I know we're going to be tight after this. My main man, King Gino. He is an artist. He has a a background though, and what is it, microbiology, right? Ain't that dope? Ain't that dope? He got bars, and he's a microbiologist, right? We don't have to stay in one lane if we get into a STEM career. You don't have to be a microbiologist and then just stay in there and shut up. And he's a testament to that, right? So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I bring you my soon-to-be good friend, King Gino. Let's go get it.
Y'all give it up one more time for Mr. Fascinate. Great Magic School Bus. I don't know about y'all, but I loved Magic School Bus growing up. Seriously, like that was my show. Miss Frizzle, I was like, yo, where we going today? Like, so my name is Gino Fernandez. Like I said, I'm a senior here at NC State, majoring in microbiology. Thank you. And during my time here in college, like I always loved music. In high school, I used to rap and stuff, so I'd be scribbling in class, but it's like, pay attention. It's like, it's a little hard when you want to write. But I found out that I don't have to give up my passions for also something that I don't have to give up my passions for my passions. I always liked science. I was always good at science. And so I was like, why not do both? So while I was here at NC State, I created a record label, Callisto Records, with fellow NC State students, one being Mr. Ayo Norm. Put your hands up. The DJ for the building, Ayo Norm, who's an electrical engineer. We have PM, Textiles and Fashion Design Management. We have Astro Nate, an aerospace engineer. And we have Rashid Devasco, plant biologist. And we have Amir Alabed, electrical engineer. So that's the team. But I didn't come here to talk. I came here to play some music. So we're going to get into this. My first piece is called Ultraviolet Crowns. And this piece is about manifesting what you want and being able to, have a plan, follow through, and make it happen. Enjoy. Produced by Ayo Norm. Alright, so this song's a big vibe. I'm gonna need y'all to vibe out with me. Can y'all do that? I said, can y'all vibe out with me tonight? Let's go. Let's go. Look, ultraviolet crowns. They gotta run their mouth. I gotta run these tracks. I'm never running out. I'm never looking down. I'm always with a smile. Made myself, never had to run the town. Look, had to run the band. You gotta understand. You wanna make it happen? You gotta have a plan. You gotta have a goal. You gotta have a soul. You gotta have some heart. The fear make you fold. Scared of moving on? Or scared of letting go? Can't get a peace of mind. Too scared of what I know. You scared of who I am. Prepared to take me down. I'm trying to take it in, but my crown is in the clouds. Ultraviolet crowns. They gotta run their mouth. I gotta run these tracks. I'm never running out. I'm never looking down. I'm always with a smile. Never been to bread, but my sister moving pounds. Look, if you got it, then I got you. Don't really keep up with news, but I called to check up on you. What the family going through? When's the next time you in the city? If you there, I'm coming through. What's the word on these other women? I don't care if it's something new. No, it ain't fair to you to deal with a heart that's bruised. I know they be wondering when I'm gonna lose. Maybe I never do. I learn from my obstacles. I do the impossible. Searching the world for answers inside of you. Ultraviolet crowns. They gotta run their mouth. I'm gonna need y'all to vibe out. Hey, I gotta run these tracks. Let me get the wave. I'm never looking down. Hey, I'm always with a smile. Hey, made myself a job. Hey, had to work it out. Why? Vibe out, y'all. Hey, 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 vibe out, look. And just know on everything that I got you. And just know on everything that I got you. And just know on everything that I got you. And just know on everything that I got you. Thank you. So yeah, Ultraviolet Crowns, man. That song means a lot to me. It means, making your dreams happen and, making it come true. And one of my biggest dreams actually is, is to be on stage here and to be able to promote STEM and science to those who didn't have the resources. I grew up in conditions where I didn't have many resources or, places to learn about STEM. And it's amazing we have outlets like Mr. Fascinate and resources like STEMedia for those watching at home that we're able to do this. So one of my dreams was making my own team, Callisto Records, the coolest record label on the planet, in the universe actually. And so we're gonna get down. And so this might require everybody to get up. Actually, I got a little chant. All right, when I say with the I, y'all say with the O. You got it? All right, with the I, with the O, with the I. Y'all got it. Let's get it on. Hey, 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 hey. First of all, everybody, thank you for coming out to STEM Success Summit. And we're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I can tell that I got what you need. Need to turn up, it's been a long week. Feeling burnt out from making all this heat. I'm so up there like a cat in the tree. What? Get down, get down, get down, get down, what I mean. Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down, move your feet. Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down with the team. Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. Hey, always on the grind, so no, I cannot sleep. Vegetarian, but they still want the beef. Secretary is the way I read the beat. Go to hyperspace like I'm on DMT. Look, jump back to the future, then I knew it since I was a student. Way back in the schools when teachers would tell me I'm breaking the rules. Ain't that the truth? Feeling like I am missing the tooth. I am a lion trapped in the zoo, but you hear me roar when I'm in the booth. Keep putting in work, I am the proof. Stroke, I can tell that I got what you need. What you need to turn up. It's been a long week. Feeling burnt out from making all this heat. I'm so up there like a cat in the tree. What? Get down, get down, get down, get down, what I mean. Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down, move your feet. Get down, get down, get down, get down with the king. Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the I, with the team. With the I, with the woo, with the I, with the team. Hey, with the team, I'm so fresh, I'm so clean. Need a stack, maybe 3. We the best, can't compete with these beats. You just see weird flags, how I dress, threads made by me. Give respect where I'm at, better run it by me. Out this road can find me, eat it, don't need I me. My crew is right beside me, to the top of shining. The pressure made a diamond. Here's Gino, always perfect timing. Hey, I can tell that hey, let's get on our feet. One more time. Hey, hey, let's get it. Hey, let's get it. Hey, let's get it. I need to exhale, let's get down. One more time, we get it. What? Get down, get down, get down, get down. What I mean? Hey, get down, get down, get down, get down. You see it? Get down, get down, get down. Hey, hey, one more time, y'all. One more time. But with the I, with the O, with the I, with the T, with the I, with the O, with the I, with the T, with the I, with the O, with the I, with the T, with the I, with the O, with the I, with the T. Shoot. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great time tonight. This big Callisto Records. Shoot.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Can we give another round of applause for King Gino? Hey! Alright, we're gonna need y'all to loosen up a little bit, man. Y'all energy just not where I need it to be tonight. You know what I mean? We need to get a little bit more energy up in this mug. You know what I'm saying? Look, alright, check it out. If you have a STEM background, can I get you to say, hey? Hey! Alright. Come on now. Y'all been in school, y'all have STEM backgrounds, y'all know how we do this. Come on. If you have a STEM background, let me hear you say, hey. Hey. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's the energy I need. Thank y'all for bringing that energy. I saw we got a couple of dance moves up in here. Now look, I'm a STEM dude. I mean, I don't really claim that I can dance, you know what I mean? But I mean, we might give you a little bit of opportunity to do that a little later. So, and get some prizes for it. So let's pull this thing up here. Yeah, so we got a couple giveaways for y'all, but what we're gonna need for everyone to do, I need everybody, we got the plug for y'all tonight. We got the plug. So everybody say the plug. The plug. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So if we have everyone pull out their phones right now, everybody connect to the Wi-Fi. It's NCSU guest, if you don't know. Takes a little second there. And DJ, can I get a little smooth tune or something slight, something chill, you know, something to vibe with? Get a little smooth on the track, you know what I mean? So yeah, everyone go to STEMsuccesssummit.com. Are we good? Are we able to get on there? Are we able to connect? All right, now I need everybody to get to STEMsuccesssummit.com and join us. All right, so go to STEMsuccesssummit.com and click on register, and then put in your first and last name and email, and we have a special gift for you guys, right? So everyone that joins right now, we're gonna have an opportunity to give away 3 STEM Success t-shirts, okay? So everyone that joins right now, we're gonna give away 3 of those t-shirts to somebody in this audience, okay? Who wants a free t-shirt? Say hey! Hey! All right, y'all better sign up then. And I mean, yeah, we have here Stephanie. She is one of our models for the STEM Success Summit, the beautiful Stephanie. Everyone give her a round of applause. She is here to showcase the amazing, this is what STEM success looks like. She is both wearing this shirt and modeling this shirt at the same time. Very talented individual. Also has a science background, a chemistry background, right? Yeah. All right, are we signed in? Are we signed up? All right, we are about to select somebody. Are we all signed up? Are we still signing up? If you're still signing up, raise your hand. Okay, you still need a little bit more time to sign up. That's cool. How are we feeling tonight? Where y'all from, man? Is anybody from North Carolina? Make some noise. Okay, is that most of y'all? That's probably most of y'all, huh? Anybody else from Chicago? Hey, I'm by myself over here. It's all good. Oh, where we go? Okay, all right. What's up, Chicago? Okay. Anybody from New York City? That's where I live now. Anybody? New York? Make some noise. Come on, put on for your city. Okay, some moderate claps. Anybody from just the south side, like the south part of the United States? Anybody repping outside of the U.S.? Krishad, where you at, man? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Repping from the Bahamas. Okay, outside the States. Okay. Who else we got in the building? We got something. Canada? Is that right? Kenya, okay, all right. I see you, Kenya. That's what's up. All right, is everybody signed up? Everybody signed up now? Who hasn't signed up? Raise your hand. Okay, you all need technical support? If you need technical support, we have some folks, but this is what STEM success looks like. They can come around and help you, get you some assistance, make sure you get signed up and registered. We got some selections. I have them do. All right, audience, we need you guys' help to pick the winner. I need you all to pick a random number between 1 and 30. I'll give you guys 3 options. How about this? Make some noise for the number 7. All right, make some noise for number 10. Make some noise for number 29. I don't know why I like 29 so much. Okay. Try number 29 for it. All right, it looks like our first winner, and we're gonna need your shirt size in a second here. Elizabeth Kelly, why don't you step on down? Come on down, Elizabeth Kelly. Come on down. That's right. All right, yeah, okay. Now we need to pick another number between 1 and 30. All right, let's do 5. Let's do 8. Let's do 1. Y'all just picking the third one. All right. So it looks like we have Mr. Malik McKenzie. Malik William? Oh, I'm so sorry. We have William McKenzie. There you go. Come on down. Get yourself a shirt. You get a shirt. And one more person gets a shirt. Let's pick a number between 1 and 30. 18? 18. Okay. 20.
15.
Man, 20 got crickets. 15. I think that was 18 that time, right? Yeah, 18 won that one. All right, number 18. John Shay Edwards, why don't you step on down? You are a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. You want to give any shout outs to anybody since you're such a winner?
Shout out to my church family.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Mad supportive. I like that. Dang. All right, we gotta pick some more winners from here. Okay, so moving on. Right, moving along here. So yeah, and we just wanted to have another one of our lovely models here, Dr. Nehemiah Mabry. He's the visionary behind the event. He's gonna give a wonderful keynote later, but I just wanted to show the shirt. Like, I think the shirt's fire, man. That design's fire, right? You like that, huh? Yeah. So next up, we have a presentation from NCSU, and they just want to give a little spiel on the importance of STEM and just bringing that into context. So we're gonna have a representative. So we're gonna have Dr. Laura Bottomley come up, and can we give a round of applause for Dr. Laura Bottomley? Thank you.
Hey y'all, how are you? Good. So I came out here to be with my good friends and to represent with you guys. I'm with the College of Engineering at NC State. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Good. For those of you that aren't with the College of Engineering at NC State, let's fix that. Okay? Yeah. So I'm an engineer because I absolutely love being an engineer. It's part of STEM. Without engineering, there would be no vowel, so you wouldn't have a word. So that's something. But in my life, working as an engineer, I've been able to work on things like I worked on the GPS satellites before they were launched, and GPS is kind of a handy thing. I got to work on bringing the internet to people's homes, and that's kind of a handy thing. So I've done a few things that are pretty exciting in my life. But right now, my job is teaching engineering to people like y'all. So some of y'all have even been in my classes before, or if not, have been close to being in my classes. But look, NC State is really excited to have all y'all here. NC State is a really wonderful place to come and study STEM. We have some of the best STEM colleges in the world, also in the state. So I'm really hoping that you guys will get excited about being in science, being in math, being in engineering, being an electrical engineer, which is the best. I got the microphone. But anyway, if you want to make a difference in the world, if you want to have an impact on somebody else's life, there is no better way to do it than to study STEM and to get involved. And that's why we're all in this game, is because we want to make the world a better place for other people. So take it from an old white woman. Come to NC State.
Thank you so much for those inspiring words. Now I have the mic. All right. So let me get a little selfie with y'all real quick. Actually, can we get everyone who can we get them all to raise to their feet? And we're gonna take a little selfie up in here, a group selfie with everybody, all right? So on count of, actually just come on, let's get up. Come on, y'all. We're gonna take a little selfie here, a STEM success selfie. Do you have a better selfie camera? Do you have your camera? I wanna take a really good selfie. Can we get the STEM Success Squad to come on down? STEM Success peoples, yeah, everybody with your STEM Success shirts, come on down. And then if you put on your STEM Success shirt, you get in a selfie too. For our winners, we're gonna take a little selfie here. Yeah, we all do it. You take one. So we'll have one like that, and then we'll have the selfie too. Okay? All right. Come on, peoples. All right. The STEM Success Selfie. All right, so what we gotta do is we gotta have everybody do something so we all look unified. So let's do everybody put their hands up like this. You know what I mean? Well, actually, okay, is that a good one? Yeah, then people blocking people's faces, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get a picture on the camera first and I'll do the selfie second, okay? Hey. That wide shot. All right, here we go. All right, on the count of 3, we're gonna get a selfie real quick. Dang, everybody's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. All right. Dang, this one's tough. Dang, we get a wide shot. We got the wide angle joint. We got the wide angle joint, y'all. All right, here we go. It's wider, yes. Oh, here we go. All right. STEM Success on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, yeah. Thank you all so much. All right. Up next. So up next, I have the pleasure of introducing to you all. And DJ, can I dim the music a little bit? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So next, I have the pleasure to introduce a soon-to-be doctor. She's gonna come up here and rock the stage for us. Her name is Kalia Braswell. She is an award-winning technologist, and we'll do applause at the end, so it'll be nice and thunderous when she walks up. You know what I mean? She's an award-winning technologist whose personal mission is to make social change using technology. Kalia graduated from Philip O'Berry Academy of Technology in 2008, and she went on to study at the North Carolina State University. Is that what I'm talking about? Okay, all right. Alum. In 2016, she obtained her master's in information technology with a concentration in human-computer interaction. Dang, where'd you find that? That's crazy. Kalia is currently the founder and executive director of InTech Camp for Girls, a nonprofit whose mission is to inform and inspire girls to innovate in the technology industry. Ain't that dope? She's so dope. InTech targets girls in grades 6 through 12 through summer camps and after-school programs, which teaches them how to build software solutions, introduces them to women of color in tech, and allows them to explore tech careers at various companies across the Californias. She's done TED Talks, highlighting how to get Black and Latinx girls in tech, and she's worked with notable leaders like John B. King Jr., former U.S. Secretary of Education, senior executives at Apple. Okay, dang, resume. She has also presented at Northwestern University, Apple, and Grace Hopper Celebration of Diversity in Computing. She's been featured in Forbes, The Root, Charlotte Observer, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a thunderous round of applause for Kalia Braswell.
Show of hands, is there anybody else here from Charlotte? Okay, all right. So shout out to the baby, that's who the song that was. I have to give an ode to where I grew up, not necessarily where I'm from. All right, so I am excited to be here. Thank you, Nehemiah, for the invite. Nehemiah and I go way back. He actually, his company produced the promo video for Intech, so it was a no-brainer when he asked for me to come here to do this. So I'm definitely grateful to him to be here tonight. All right, so you heard the bio, right? But tonight I want to focus on what it takes to get to that. And we have to start here. I no longer look like that, thank God for growth. So I received my first computer in the 4th grade. And this is a photo of me. This is actually at my grandmother's house on her computer. And I honestly was really fascinated and excited about what this big gray box could do, right? And my mom got it with her tax income refund back when I was in the 4th grade. She gave me a decision. Kalia, would you like to get these Jordans that your friends have? Or would you like the computer? 4th grade Kalia decided to get the computer. I still don't know, but I ended up getting the Jordans later in life, so it's cool. But of course, my mom wanted to be very, very protective over her computer, right? It's an investment, it's something new, don't break my stuff. She was very protective over everything that I did. She wanted to watch me. And eventually that changed. Eventually it became, hey Kalia, how do you do such and such on the computer? I'm like, oh, so now you want to ask me how to do stuff. Oh, okay. So I got really fascinated. And the first thing I ever did was build a MySpace page. Now, this might predate some of y'all. It might age me, but it's okay. For a show of hands, who remembers MySpace? Okay, yes, got some hands. All right, so unintentionally, MySpace taught me how to code. All right, I might have a prize for a young person who can tell me who's on the background of my MySpace page. Yes, in the red. It's Bow Wow, yes. I probably should have came out to him, right? That would have been more appropriate. So this is what I used to do with my spare time. I used to build MySpace pages, right? I was just fascinated with the fact that I could use code to design what my page looked like. I also used to have sticky notes on my wall with HTML codes to remember how to put Lil Bow Wow on my background. And so I was just really fascinated with the fact that I could take code, manipulate it, and do something like that, right? So obviously Facebook, Instagram, you can't learn how to code now. Sorry guys. Anyway, I ended up enrolling in the Philip Berry Academy of Technology. You'll hear me talk about my mom a lot, and I'm very grateful for her because I remember when the school was being built. And all we knew at the time was Philip Berry Academy of Technology. That was it. We didn't know what the school would offer, if it would be a good school, bad school. We just knew I was in the 8th grade, I had to go to high school. It had technology in the name, so no brainer, right? And luckily, she listened to me, I enrolled there, and that's where I learned how to code. So the first thing that happened when I got there as a freshman, and I took a class called Foundations of Information Technology. This course was designed to teach you a little bit of everything, right? And so I talked about how I wanted the computer over the Jordans, right? So I was kind of like focused kid. I came into Philip Berry, I said, look, I want to know how networks work, right? I was fascinated with like this whole Wi-Fi thing. But then I learned how to code. Again, like I learned MySpace, it's coding, but like not really. And so I learned a programming language called Java. I built a program and I brought it home. And it was a notepad, and I assumed that my mom would say, Kalia, why did you build a notepad when we have one on the computer already? Right? That was I was anticipating that, but I was still excited nonetheless, and I said, okay, I'm going to bring it to her anyway. Her response was, wow, you built that? And I was like, yeah, I did. Like, right? Like, I did build that. Like, she totally surprised me. And I learned later why her response mattered, and I'll get to that in a minute. Justin mentioned that I ended up focusing on human-computer interaction, so I'll get to the root of her response and what that really did, but in that moment, that made me say, hey, coding is actually pretty cool, because I can create something that looks like a notepad, looks like a MySpace page, looks like whatever to the common person. However, on the back end, I know I did all these, manipulations to numbers and text and things of that sort to make that work. And there was something about that I just held on to. And so by the time time it came for me to graduate from high school, I decided that I was coming where? Hey, go Wolfpack. Yeah, I definitely don't look like that anymore. Whew, bro. So here's a photo of my best friend and I. He and I both decided, hey, we're gonna go to NC State and we're gonna figure this thing out. I actually was very cocky when I left high school. I said, I already know how to code. I'm gonna go to NC State. I'm gonna major in computer engineering. I'm gonna do something different. Kamar was like, that's cool. I'm gonna keep doing computer science. I'm gonna stick with what I know. And I did a year of computer engineering, and I said, hey, Kumar, how was it over there? I'm gonna come over there to the other side. Because if you're familiar with NC State's campus, it's too dark for you to go over there now, but the computer engineering, computer science building is across the yard, and they're literally in the same building, and they're separated by a bridge. So I was on one side, he was on the other, I was over there struggling, he wasn't. It's like, all right, cool, the grass looks greener, and I'm just gonna go back over there. Go stick with what I know. So, went through the computer science program, had an amazing time here at NC State, and one of the other things that I got introduced to was research. So this is Kamar and I again. Kamar and I went to high school together and college, and we're really good friends. So you're gonna see, this is the last time you'll see him, but he's a part of the narrative because we actually stuck together through the program. The other young man in this photo is Jeremy. He also went to Phillips Berry and came here, and he thrived in computer engineering and electrical engineering. But this is us at a research conference, right? And for those of you who may not be aware of it, because I didn't until I started doing this, research is where, to a degree, you can get funded, so you get money to actually figure out a problem, right? The problem we were trying to figure out is how do we get more information about HIV and AIDS to college women using social media? So we were doing Twitter chats, we had a blog, we had videos, we were doing all kinds of stuff. And the purpose of that research was to disseminate more information about HIV and AIDS to college-age women here at NC State, particularly black college-age women, because what our primary researcher knew was that the statistics for women for college-age women, lost the word. The number of college-age women contracting the disease, was increasing, right? So there's a lot of black women getting HIV and AIDS, and so we were like, all right, well, our solution is going to be to disseminate more information. And so through this project, I'm learning that I'm able to connect technology and people and actually help somebody. And I was very, very intrigued by that. And so what I decided in that moment was, hey, this is pretty cool. You know, we're getting paid to actually help people. I'm able to use technology. And in that moment, I decided, like, hey, I'm actually going to go off and continue my studies beyond NC State and get a PhD. Now, that was my 2013 goal, right? So I shared this. This is the first time I made a dream board. And in the middle, what do you see? That would be Kalia Braswell, right? So I created this in 2012, 2013. You also see at the top, it says NC State, it says research, Clemson. Clemson was my #1 choice. I wanted to leave NC State and go to Clemson. Clemson had a different idea. Clemson decided, no, Kalia, you can't come here after NC State. I applied to MIT as well and one other school. Now, I graduated in 2013. My goal in 2013 was to continue to go to school and get a PhD. That was not the plan, right? So here I am in 2013, ready to graduate. I went to my graduation dinner. I said, hey family, I don't know what I'm doing next. I don't know. I tried to go to grad school to get a PhD, it didn't work. However, I have applied to get a master's degree. The researcher that I was really counting on being a part of his lab at Clemson said, hey Kalia, go get a master's degree and reapply. So he was telling me that my grades needed to be a little better to come to Clemson, which was fine. And to do that, go get a master's, right? I said, all right, cool. However, when I got to UNC Charlotte for my master's degree, a few things happened along the way. Okay, cool. All right, so I get into this master's program and Intech Camp was born. Hey, a few little shout out. All right, so I received some money to host a one-day event where we brought girls to UNC Charlotte's campus, we exposed them to other women in tech, and we also taught them how to build Android apps. The magic that happened that day was a few hours after the event wrapped up, we were getting a post-event meal, and I got an email from a parent that said, Kalia, you have changed a young girl's life in 8 hours. I was like, wow. So at the time, in April of 2014, my goal was, we're gonna do this camp, and that's pretty much it, right? And now it has blossomed. I'll revisit that. The other thing that happened was I got an opportunity, this is the same year, to go to Apple's headquarters in California to work full-time for a full year. So let's do some math real quick. It's a STEM event, right? All right, how many years does it take to finish a master's degree? I hear 4, 2. The answer is 2. Okay, and my internship was for 1 year. I had already finished a year, and they were asking me to take a year off of a 2-year master's. Seemed a little crazy, right? But do you say no to Apple? So not only did I go to grad school, I went to get a master's, I started a new organization, which I had no vision beyond that day. So what are we gonna do with MTech? And then I packed up and left North Carolina and moved to California where I have 0 family, right? However, it was worth it because, does anybody know what this is? I need a young person to tell me. Who? I need somebody that's younger than 18 to tell, oh, I see a hand back here. Yes, who is it? You can yell it out. Another young lady right here. Who is it? Steve Jobs. Not Steve Jobs. It's not Steve Jobs, but you're close. All right, I have another. Do you like to cook things? I think so. Tim Cook, yes. All right, you get $1. Nehemiah, you got it. So I went to Apple, I was out there for a year, and I had the opportunity to meet the CEO of the company, right? And I was able to interact with a lot of other senior leaders and things of that sort. So it was a great time. I ended up finishing my degree at UNC Charlotte. I almost did not come back. I was like, this is too good to be true. They're paying me to learn. Why would I go back to school? I went back to school to finish the degree. And after I graduated from UNC Charlotte, decided, okay, I'm gonna go back to Apple and work full time. But something happened when I was out there. I was at Apple, I was in California. Some people call it my dream job. That's debatable. But what happened was, I was like, Intech is in a really good place. We've met young ladies like Harmony, the parent, the young lady whose life we changed in 8 hours, her parents' words. I was able to meet some other students, and I'm like, hey, I might be able to do this 100%. Like, what would it take? What would it look like if I gave my own dream 100%? And so I literally jumped out of an airplane. I'm just kidding. No, but I literally, right? And so this picture came a year before I actually took a literal leap. But I went skydiving for my friend's 30th birthday, and I like to parallel this skydive. Has anybody else gone skydiving? Is this making anybody nervous? I didn't tell my family before I went. And the crazier thing is, my dad does not have an iPhone. Somehow or another, he FaceTimed me before I went to jump, and I got a little scared. Like, how are you FaceTiming me? Because you have an Android phone. 1, 2, why you pick now? Like, why now? Like, a little nervous. So I jumped out of a plane in California, and then a year later, I decided to jump and take the leap and bet on myself and leave California to come back to North Carolina to run Intech full time, and I have not looked back. So I do want to give you a little more information about Intech. Our mission is to inform and inspire girls to innovate in the technology industry. The way we do that is we host 1-hour sessions called mini camps, where we send women in tech into classrooms to inspire young women with their own background and their path. We host one-day camps, which is like the first thing that we did, but we also do summer camps, and we do them here at North Carolina State as well as at UNC Charlotte, right? Because we want to make sure that the girls that we impact are able to see themselves on these campuses to see what's next for them. We've been able to take scholars to Facebook. This is from our Raleigh Campus 2017, which there are some special guests here that are in these photos. And we've also been able to take scholars to the Black Compute Her Conference, which is an annual conference for Black women in computing. In addition to that, we've been able to host now, I believe, 4 summer camps in Charlotte, and all of these camps are for middle school girls, and so we've exposed a little over 1,000 girls to technology now through these events, and they've built websites primarily about social issues of their choices. So they come into us and we say, hey, you're going to build a website, we're going to have a lot of fun, but we wanted to have a purpose, because remember, I learned how I can have an impact on people with technology, right? And so I ingrained that into InTech. And so they have websites about Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ issues, they're looking at homelessness, they're looking at unemployment rates. Like, these are topics that they're choosing to create their websites about throughout the week when they're with us. And we also take them to company tours. So we've been to Red Hat several times, we've been to SAS, IBM. And so we make sure that we expose them not only to NC State's campus, but also to the companies around, so that not only they can see like, hey, I can do this, I can come to NC State too, and then, maybe after that I can go, because they also meet and interact with NC State alum once they're at these companies. Here's some press that we've had in that year, and so this is just in the year that I decided to leave Apple, right? We've been featured in Forbes, we've been featured in Essence, which is really great, but all that is nice, but what I like are stories like these. So this is April 2014, the very first event that we held, and the young lady that I'm helping in the pink, her name is Ryan. So Ryan comes to camp. I don't see Ryan again until last year. This is Ryan and I in April of this year, and we reconnected through a program where she was learning how to code again. And interesting thing about this is that we didn't realize it, right? So I was teaching a whole different program. It wasn't an InTech program. And I'm looking at the roster and I'm like, there aren't too many girls named Ryan, first of all. And so I follow her on Instagram and I reached out and I said, Ryan, did you do InTech? And she was like, yeah, my mom reminded me, but I forgot to bring it up. And I'm like, really? This is great, right? So 2014, she came to our camp and learned how to build some apps. Fast forward to 2018, she's learning how to build websites and things of that sort. Then she graduated and went to A&T, and now she's studying computer engineering. This is Ryan and I again at a conference. So now this is her in college, and she's at A&T. Unfortunately, she's not in NC State, but it's okay. But she's going to flourish wherever she goes. And so Ryan's at A&T studying computer engineering, and this is her at her first technical conference in California, all expenses paid, right? And so it's narratives like Ryan's, narratives like Harmony and Amia, who, I met them when they were in middle or high school, and now they've gone on to flourish. And so on my right, your left, that is Harmony and I, the young lady that, whose mom wrote me that email. Well, the Grace Hopper Conference is the largest tech conference for women, like largest in the world, right? Everybody like wants to get to Grace Hopper. Harmony went when she was a sophomore in high school. She's already been like two or three times, right? And so she already knows from that one event that she came to, like, hey, I'm gonna do technology. The young lady here is Amia. I met Amia when she was in the sixth grade. She came to all the InTech summer camps, and then she went on to go to Philip O'Berry and learn tech too. So it's stories like this that encouraged me to take that leap, right? Huge leap. Literally jumped out of a plane. That's how I felt when I quit my job to move back, but it was worth it. So I want to bring you back here. Unfortunately, you heard my bio, so it kind of spoiled the story a little bit. But 2012, 2013, I make this dream board. I have my heart set on Clemson, all these other things, right? But in the center, it's Dr. Kalia Braswell. Well, this year, I had the opportunity to start this lifelong dream, and I'm now a PhD student at Temple University studying computer science with a focus on education. Thank you. And what I want to kind of wrap this up and frame this up with, because I think a lot of times you hear all the highlights, right? And it's a long journey to get to that. and I never really lost sight of my goal. It just had to come back around. It took some years. And so I want to share this video that I recently found.
Powerful unless you are also authentic. You cannot be powerful unless you're also real. And I have made a living out of it, really a really good one, as a matter of fact, out of being myself. There's a wonderful line from a friend of mine, Gary Zukav's book, where he says, when you align your personality with your soul, or when you align your personality with your purpose, you then become the most authentically powerful person you can be. So it's about using your personality to serve a greater purpose for yourself. And for me, it's always been about the greater purpose, you know. And for me, that purpose is, you know, using your life to inspire other people. What can you do to encourage, to uplift, to inspire, as well as entertain, because we're in an entertainment business. So I say to anybody who wants to be powerful, find out a way to be more of yourself, because that's how you're going to be the most powerful. Nobody.
I can just drop the mic there, right? Like, just wrap it up over and so I recently came across that video, right? And it made me reflect on my own journey. And unfortunately, I don't have a photo for you, but there's an anecdote that I have. Growing up, I was in athletics, but clearly that didn't go anywhere, that's why it's not in the story. But I was always into athletics. I wanted to play basketball, it didn't pan out. In any case, my little cousins did, and they always had these sports trophies, right? Entire room full of trophies, for soccer, baseball, basketball, football, you name it, they had it. And I never had a trophy like that, right? And so what it made me think about was my own story and my own life, and now I see where me being able to be authentically myself, I'm being awarded for it. So, a few quotes from that video. When you align your personality with your purpose, you then become the most authentically powerful person you can be. I'm going to say it one more time. When you align your personality with your purpose, you then become the most authentically powerful person you can be. That wasn't actually Oprah's quote, it was Gary Zukov, so I want to make sure I clear that up. But she did continue to say, what can you do to encourage, to uplift, and to inspire? Everyone in here has a power to do these three things. No matter what your journey is, you have a gift within you to inform and to inspire somebody and to uplift somebody. Found out a way to be more of yourself, because that's how you're going to be more powerful. And this is something that I've been meditating on since I saw that video, because as I look around and I see the awards that I've gotten over the years, I think and I'm saying, hey, I got these awards for being myself. If you've known me through these years, and there's people in here who have known me for a very long time, through all my different phases in the pictures that you've seen. I got my uncle here. I've always been able to show up as myself, right? Even when I met Tim Cook, I heard we call him Steve Jobs. Even when I met Tim Cook, right? I didn't like change and become a new Kalia. I was still myself. And we were talking, I told him that I was from North Carolina, and we had a conversation about that. And so I really want to encourage you all, and that's how I want to leave you, right? Thinking about, reflecting on that video, reflecting on those quotes, that when you tap into yourself and bring authenticity, you will always win, okay? That's how I've been able to win, and I hope that you all are able to kind of dig deep and be able to find your authentic self, because that's when you find your true power. Thank you.
Excellent job, Clea. You killed it. Can we get another round of applause? Yes. You gotta tell us. Now, she's gonna be around for a Q&A a little bit later on, but what we need from you all right now is a little bit more energy, all right? And we're gonna incentivize that energy, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you all some things, if you can groove to some of these tunes that our DJ's about to spin. That cool? All right, but whoever gets the livest, or can we get that a little higher? Can we get that higher? I mean, like, so y'all gotta stand up. I mean, if y'all want a free t-shirt, we're giving out a lot more free t-shirts. I got this big old bag of free t-shirts, but y'all gotta get hyped though. Y'all gotta get really hyped for this. Come on. Okay, y'all want some t-shirts over here, huh? Okay, I see some hype.
Oh, you asking for pictures?
Sorry. Come on. want to get loud? You want to switch up the tune, DJ? Uh-oh.
Listen, man, another one.
Uh-oh. Come on. Come on.
She like I smell cologne. Yeah, I just had the deal, I'm on.
Anybody else? Anybody else really? Y'all look like y'all really want a shirt.
Look, play if you want.
Y'all want a shirt?
I'm a young
You want a shirt? You want a shirt? Oh.
Pull up to your hood and come buy me a new cap.
All right. Here we go. One more. I got one more. I'll get out some more later. I got one more right now.
Act like I don't know.
Who really wants it? Who really wants it? Who really wants it?
I'm kind of loud, but not super loud. How are y'all doing? I'm excited to see y'all. I don't know if you're excited to see me. So Nehemiah invited me here, knowing goodness well I do not have a STEM background. But I teach at Wake Tech. That counts. But like they said, I went to NC State, and I had friends who were doing STEM, primarily engineers, and all I know is that it's really quite a challenge every time you go to lunch. So I did this Java last night. I'm like, I don't know what Java is. It's that coffee. But no, so yeah. What I know about STEM is that you all work very hard. You all require innovation and creativity, and that I do have in common with you all. So preface, the last performance that I did was for a birthday. I don't believe in procrastination. How many of you are procrastinators? No! Don't tell anybody that. I don't believe in procrastination, but the last performance that I did, I wrote the poem, like the day before, and so I had to memorize it the day of. I just prefer to memorize my poems, right? I did that for the birthday party, and I did it for my sister's wedding. It was a 13-hour drive to like Maine or something like that. And in the car, she called me, she was like, Cynthia, do you have that poem ready? And I was like, it's getting there. For her wedding. But no, that night, that thing was done. The next day, I was like, no, you guys, I can't do bachelorette things because I have to study this poem. And boom, I did it, right? And it was great. So guess what happened this time? Inspiration struck yesterday. And I have tried my best to memorize this poem for you all, okay? So work with me. If you see me struggle, I need you to rub your hands together. If you hear something you like, do a couple of snaps, you know? I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you. This poem does not have a title. Because it was written yesterday, come on. But okay, let's see how this goes. I got my phone, let's back up, right? Finding your purpose can be hard because it's not something that needs to be found. You can look to the sky, you can ask a passerby, you can even scour the ground, but you will not find your purpose until you look within yourself. You won't find it in the arms of a lover, your friend, your mother, or anyone else. You've already got it tucked away in the chambers of your heart. It's in the things you want to fix, but you just don't know where to start. It's in the things you enjoyed during childhood, the answers you wanted to know, the places you wanted to go, the challenges that you said yes to when everyone else said no, right? It's in the feats. Look, y'all snapping distracted me, right? Stop, never mind. It's in the feats that sometimes scare you, but excite you at the same time. It's hard to find your purpose because it's not something that you really have to find. Now, acting on your purpose, that's a little harder because that requires faith. And it's hard to take a leap when you are aware of what it takes because few things that are worth having are easy to get. And the journey to get them is tough. And the journey gets even tougher when you don't feel like you're enough. Now, it's hard to follow a path when you don't know where it leads. And it's hard to walk by faith, by a path that's, oh, you guys, come on. Rub. Thank you. We're gonna rewind, okay? When you want to hear something again, you can just say rewind. Do you want to hear it again? Okay, boom, thanks. Y'all are cracking me up. Now, acting on your purpose is even harder because that requires faith. And it's hard to take a leap. Y'all just heard the line, say the line. And it's hard to take a leap when you're aware of what it takes because few things worth having are easy to get, and the journey to get there is tough. And the journey gets even tougher when you feel like you're not enough, and it's hard to follow a path. Oh my God, y'all heard me? Say it. What was it? When you don't know where it leads. And it's hard to walk by faith when it's covered up by trees and you cannot just see what direct. All right, y'all, I'm pulling out the phone. Y'all really tried to work with me. You really did. You really did, and I appreciate it. I got you. So it's hard to follow a path when you don't know where it leads. And it's hard to walk by faith on a path that's blocked by trees when you cannot always see that you're going in the right direction. You consider turning around because that provides more protection. But faith, purpose, is the impetus that drives one foot before the other. It's what keeps you on your path when you could have traveled another. Purpose is what wakes you up and reminds you that you have work to do because someone out there needs you and they have purpose too, and you're essential to their mission. Rub your hands. You're essential to their mission, and I'm gonna look at the phone. You're essential to their mission. If you could only see yours through. Truth is, we are all tied together in a purpose that is divine. So I need you to walk in your purpose so that I can walk in mine. Guys, thank you. Now, we're gonna record that so you guys can watch that later without interruptions.
Thank you, Cynthia. Let's give a round of applause for Cynthia. Nice job. Sometimes we all gotta pull out the phone. I pull out my phone all the time, every day. Who pulls out their phone in here? Generally, in life, all right? Yeah, we all do. It's all right. Happens. I got some bars for y'all too. Should I spit it? Nah, you're not hype enough. Nah, that's okay. I'm not gonna spit. Nah, you're not hype enough. So it's cool. It's okay. It's okay. You're not hype enough. Sorry. You're not hype enough. I'm just gonna spit one verse from this thing. I'm gonna spit. Should I spit the verse? Okay. All right, DJ Keith, cut it. It's like one of those kind of joints you gotta cut the music for, you know. This is a couple lines off. They put me in classes with the smart masses because I was quick with the mathematics, and even though I was a little athletic, my peers calling me brother saw me as a below average, primitive, light-skinned savage, black bastard with bad study habits in pursuit of their beautiful glory, but just can't have it. I told them, dag nabbit, I'm fantastic. Y'all bass backwards. If y'all had magic to fast backwards past your plastic facets, you can see my assets from my aspect. Look into my history and see the sickening entities and enemies diminishing me mentally and killing the possibility of finishing anything to find a solution to the mystery of why Justin didn't be above a C student. That's it. That's just a little bit of bars, a little bit, you know, a little poetry slam up in here. You know what I mean? I got you. Got you. So, I now have the absolute pleasure of introducing one of my personal role models. One of the guys that is the guy, actually, that's responsible for all of this, for bringing all of these resources to you guys, making this all available for you all, bringing the STEM Success Summit to you guys, right? He is someone who has been passionate about this when I was just a little kid.
Oh, wow.
My main man, Dr. Nehemiah Mabry, he is, and we gotta get the round of applause after I do his bio, you know, so we can get real hype and he come on and feel good when he walks in. So yeah, Nehemiah Mabry, right? This guy, and dang, I kind of just want to go off the cuff on his bio, man. This guy is a legendary science communicator to me. He has an engineering degree, he has an engineering doctorate degree as well. And he is a person who is so passionate about the same thing I'm passionate about. He wants to uplift the youth and sees that STEM is the way to do it. Now, this is a guy who has put everything, sacrificed everything to make this possible for you all, to make this possible for thousands of other people digitally on his platform, STEMedia. And I truly believe in this guy so much. I came out here out the kindness, man. And the STEM Success team, these are all, you know, really dope people in their own right. Shout out to STEM Success team. We see y'all. These are folks pursuing their doctors. These are entrepreneurs. These are people that are making a decent amount of money. Some of them, I want to talk to them after this. We got a shirt on. And these are people who have dedicated their time for the past few days to this mission of bringing STEM and content and information that's valuable to people all over the world in 14 different time zones. And now over 1,000 people in the past few days have been able to witness some of the value that this team has brought. And we all believe in Dr. Nehemiah Mabry's vision. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my role model, the guy who is killing the game. Let's give a thunderous applause for Dr. Nehemiah Mabry.
moves and stuff. Then my mom was like, don't play yourself. So you know church people here, you better not. I was about to start hearing one of these. That choir clap real quick. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good this evening? Come on, y'all make noise today. Are you feeling good this evening? All right, hey, thank you, I appreciate that. Shout out to NC State, go Pack. Go Pack, go Pack. I see my engineering students out here, go Pack, go Pack. What about Gethsemane? I see y'all in the building? What about the North Carolina School of Science and Math? Y'all here? All right, I see y'all. All right. What about who else here? We got Wake Forest High School. Okay. Who else we got? Southeast Raleigh. We got any Southeast Raleigh in the building? Roseville. We got Roseville. Where Roseville at? Oh, come on, y'all got to run for your school. Who else you got? Yeah, definitely got to get Sydney. All right. All right, here's the thing. I am super excited that y'all are here. You've taken a Saturday night to come and attend an event about engineering your purpose. Give yourself a round of applause, everybody here. Make some noise for yourself. Now I want you to know that that is an important thing to try to figure out. Engineering your purpose is very important because a lot of times, no matter who you are, no matter how successful you are, you might find yourself in a place where you start wondering to yourself like, what is life? What is the point of all this? I mean, you may have been there. You may have been studying for an exam in the middle of the night, things are not clicking, and then you ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Am I telling the truth? Right? There are going to be times, regardless of what trajectory you're on, where you start asking yourself, is this really the path that's for me? Is this really my purpose? If you can relate, raise your hand. I've been there, and that's good, because this evening, you are in the right place. I'm going to share with you some insight that I believe that I have received that has helped. So if you got those little notebooks, anybody pick up a STEMedia notebook? Let me see it real quick. STEMedia notebook. All right, did they give it to y'all at the door, the little notebooks? Y'all pass them out? Let me see them. We didn't just give it to you for take out. All right, pull out the pen as well, the pen, because I want you to take notes tonight. Is that all right? If that's all right, say that's all right. Say that's all right, dude. Y'all better give me some more energy than that, all right? I know it's an engineering event, but I need the energy. All right, so I'm going to share with you some insight that I've learned. I don't claim to be the expert on purpose, but I do know that I've learned a few things that have propelled me in this process of being still an advocate, of being an engineer, and engineering purpose. So if y'all ready to get going, put your hands together one more time. All right, here we go. Now before I get going, I have to show y'all really quick, two people. Got him. It never fails. The whole put the daughters on the screen, get the all reaction really quick. These are my daughters, Mia and Naraya. Mia is the oldest one right here in the Nike outfit. She got energy. She's 2 years old, so you already know our household is lit. And then we got another, Naraya, who literally just turned 9 months. This is an 8-month picture. She just turned 9 months yesterday. All right? Here's the thing, if you're not a parent yet, and if you're a parent, you can relate to this. But I can tell you all right now that when you become a parent, when you graduate, you get married, have kids, whatever you do, I promise you, you're going to meet a new version of yourself. Like for real, like Josh, you're going to find yourself saying things that you never thought you would say so frequently. Get down off of that refrigerator. Hey, stop. Stuff you don't understand. In fact, here's the thing. Here's the greatest shit in our household. You find yourself saying this. This is what we say off. My wife and I say, ah!
Yes!
Get that out of your mouth. I'm saying you just walk in the room and you go, ah! Get that out of your mouth. Because kids, they like to experience things with their hands and with their what? With their mouths, right? So we have this thing, right? This is thing that's been designed that you may have seen in the store somewhere, right? You've seen these devices. Yeah, this is one of the most frequently coded functions as a parent. All right, there's this device where it's like a bulb, it's a rubber end, it's like a big round end. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you, right? You squeeze the end of the bulb, right? And if you have a youngster that is choking, they're congested, you put the narrow thing in their nose, right? And then you let go of the bulb end. And since this is engineering event, I'm gonna go ahead and get deep down it.
Right.
It creates a negative pressure.
Yeah.
Which causes the mucus to be sucked out of their nose.
Right.
And now the baby can breathe again. That makes sense?
That's right.
That's how it was engineered.
Yeah.
To be put into the nose and basically pull the boogers out. So now, since we know that this is how it was designed, can you imagine how I felt the day I walked into my room and I saw my daughter Nia, the oldest one, using it to drink out of? Exactly. Like, that's how it was. Like, have you ever seen something so gross, it makes you feel nasty? I'm like, get that out of there. I'm in the restroom brushing my teeth like, yo, that is nasty, Nia. That is nasty. She put it in her mouth. Get this, she put it in her mouth. Nia put this in her mouth because she was unaware of its intended purpose. Are y'all with me? She had no idea that this thing was designed to pull snapping boogers out of the nose of a baby. It's grossing you out, Penny, I understand. It grosses me out as well. But had she known the purpose, she would not have been using it that way. Does that make sense? Say true? True. All right, so here's a quote that I heard from McGrath. He said, when purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Now the thing is, perhaps you won't want to call that abuse, some people probably would, but at minimum, this was a gross misuse. Emphasis on the gross. Because she wasn't clear on the intended purpose. So for the next 20, 25 minutes, I think that it's important for us to think about the fact that we have a purpose. It gets even deeper. My daughter Nia, who had this thing in her mouth, her name is Nia, which is a Swahili word that means what? Purpose. So there's one thing, right? We can baby-proof the house as parents. We can make sure she doesn't get anywhere near knives, stay away from electrical cords, and soon she'll get to a place where she knows the purpose of things around the house so that she won't have to go through this type of thing. But what I feel will be even more tragic is if she never understands her purpose. You get the irony of this whole thing? My daughter's purpose needs to find her purpose. Because God forbid she ever experience any type of abuse as a result. And so this is important, right? We have to ask ourselves, as we talk about engineering our purpose, what are the things that determine what our lives should be organized around? Since I'm on academic campus, I want you all to look at this. This was released earlier this year from the Journal of American Medical Association, right? And it found, the conclusion of this study, this was early this year, I was pointed to this by a good friend in the medical industry, says that this study's results indicated that stronger purpose in life was associated with decreased mortality. This is a scientific study that said if you know a purpose, right, and it was defined in this case as a self-organizing life aim that stimulates goals, promotes healthy behaviors, and gives meaning to life. They said they found that people who were able to identify this had a less likely chance of developing cardiovascular diseases and dying. So this isn't just some pie in the sky, some big, esoteric idea of purpose. They found that a lot of literature, even in this, if you look at the literature review, Nicole, you'll see that they actually reference other studies that confirm the same thing. Purpose in life is linked to your well-being, linked to your health. So let's talk about this. We're going to talk about engineering your purpose again for the next 20 to 25 minutes, and I want y'all to get this first thing I put up, all right? We're talking about engineering. Engineering, I love this particular definition. It's called the process of problem solving. For me, I can just stop right there. Now, when it comes to particular academics, we're talking particularly using principles of science and what? Math. Science and what? Math. All right, so math does have a bit, we had a debate earlier about which one got to go, science, technology, engineering, or math. People was hating on math, but I guess math has a place. All right, so science and math is particular things that we use in engineering, but I want you to notice the work done or the occupation of an engineer. Lastly, the action of working artfully to bring something about. Now we have this process, right, known as the engineering design process. It's been like communicated in various forms, but here's an extremely simplified version of it. It starts, number one, with what? Say it, y'all can hear me. Start what? Then it goes to 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 what? And after you improve, you then go back and you ask, how can we improve it? Does this make sense? So it's continuing to iterate the process and things get better and better and better. Now here's the thing, I have a talk where I go through these principles a little bit more, but I'm not going to do that tonight. You have to invite me to your school for that. Wink, wink. But what I will do is this, I'll show my first point that I found, and that is take the what? Time. Take the time. Here's the thing, we all live in a world where it seems like there is no stopping. The moment you wake up, right, You look at your phone, and let me see how much likes I got on my Instagram post from last night. And then some of y'all probably stick to the last minute. You know you got an 8 o'clock class, so you're gonna stick to like 7:55 and see if you can get there on time. Then you're going and going and going, and throughout the day, people calling you left, right, say, let me go give it my friends, let me go do this. All right, oh, and if you're a parent, oh man, the kids gotta get picked up, then I gotta go to work, then I gotta find something to eat. Whatever it is, it's nonstop. And very seldom do we find ourselves having an opportunity to just stop. Just stop. Peace. It is very important that we find time to differentiate the noise and the voice of the crowd from the voice that really matters. So here's the first challenge. Pull out the notebook and I want you to say to yourself, how many minutes a day do I think I can start giving myself just to take time? Because the truth of the matter is that 90% of some people, 90% of what you can find yourself doing in your daily calendar could be things that isn't in line with who you are. It isn't in line in your purpose. It isn't even a step toward the goal that you said you want to accomplish. So ask yourself, can I take 10 minutes a day? Please, right now, I don't see me if you write it down. Can I take 10 minutes a day? Can I take 15 minutes a day? What time can I take to invest in finding my purpose? Because the truth of the matter is, if you continue to go and let all the things crowd out your day, then you may find yourself confused. And, well, you haven't taken the time. That makes sense. Say true? True. So you have to take the time. And here's the thing I learned. When I got in college, right, so I was a sophomore doing engineering, and I was fortunate because I was able to get into this program in high school where I was doing research at NASA. NASA, National Aeronautical and Space Administration. And so from the outside looking in, I was this young, strapping young man who already had his foot in, and he looked like where he knew he was going. He had the future on lock. But when I started college, right, even though I looked like that, I actually felt a little bit like this. Yes, those are cornrows, don't judge me. Shame that was the early 2000s, everybody had cornrows. You know what I mean? I had the crooked bow tie, I don't have an excuse for that. I was a little unsure, right? I was a little unsure if this engineering thing that I had probably told everybody I was doing was for me. See, on the outside, I was actually engaging my friends, really confident in the mix. I was all down, always down for what's next. What are we doing, right? But the truth of the matter is, on the inside, I felt like I was trying to juggle things like this. It was just kind of out of whack. And so I decided at a point, after getting a couple of bad grades, after finding myself in positions where I wanted to have fun, but that nagging thought in my mind was like, hey, you don't even know what you're doing with your life. Why are you smiling? You're at a party, you ever had a party, then you realize, oh shoot, that assignment's due tomorrow. Like I had a lot of times where I came face to face wondering if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I on the right path? And so for me, I need to get a place where I just experience like complete peace and shut things down. I remember like it was yesterday. And I could go on and on and on about how I found it, but a number of things occurred in my experience. One, my name is Nehemiah, and there's a biblical character named Nehemiah. And so whenever I would tell people, people are like, yo, your name is Nehemiah? Have you read the book? And I was in college. I'm ashamed to say, I was in college, and I didn't even read the book of Nehemiah yet. And so I was just be like, man, why people keep asking me that? Let me read this book of Nehemiah. Kind of find out that I was studying to be a civil engineer in the book of Nehemiah. The character was actually someone who rebuilt the city. That's right. He was a construction manager. Tell us one thing, right? Here's another thing. I was a part of NASA, and I had a program that terminated when I got into college. And so there was another program for college students. And so I remember I was like, I guess I'll apply again. I have a shoe in. And I would say, man, if I don't get this, maybe I should change my major. Maybe I should go into something else. And so I remember going to a lady who basically had the decisions of who was accepted. And she told me to my face, she said, I'm sorry, we actually gave away all of our positions. And that particular day, I'm going back to my room, I'm like, man. And when I get back to my dorm room, the landline, yes, we had landlines in the house. The landline in my dorm room ring, and it was a lady in the office I just left, and she said, hey, somebody just dropped out, so we got a spot for you. I said, oh, maybe there is a reason for me to continue to keep going. And a number of things over and over again, whether it's what I read or little things, end up being signs, if you will. If you imagine your life going on a highway and you see exit signs saying, here's your exit ramp here, or you see Raleigh, 30 miles, or you see, hey, continue on, merge left. These are things that in my life I began to realize, like, all right, I don't know what it's going to look like when I get there, but I at least know that this isn't my exit. Or in your case, maybe it is. Right? So when I say take your time, it isn't just about taking time in the day. It's also being patient and realizing that it's not the destination, it's the what? All right, so stop getting frustrated just because in your sophomore year you don't know what your whole life is supposed to look like. Nobody that's 18, 19-year-olds know what their whole life is supposed to look like. So chill. Don't be so hard on yourself. The truth of the matter is, if you look around and look at some of these adults, they don't know what the rest of their life is supposed to look like. So why do you think that at 22, when you're graduating from college and everyone's asking what are you going to do next, they're asking you because that we always ask. We don't know what else to say. Hey, what are you going to do when you graduate? That doesn't mean that if you don't have an answer, that you don't have a purpose.
That's right.
Understand that it's not about the destination, it's about the what?
The journey.
So take the time, take the time. Does this make sense? Say true? True. All right, hope y'all getting this down. These notebooks weren't cheap. Hope y'all getting that down, all right? So number 2, check the what? Design. Check the design. All right, so number 2, check the design. Now check the design. What I mean about check the design is become acquainted with who you are. Like you find yourself sometimes stalking people. Y'all know how it is. Stalking people on Instagram. You click on there, you see their pictures, you're going back to 2017, trying to see what they were doing. And you're putting more effort sometimes in getting to know what other people are about than you have your own self. And the truth of the matter is that you got to understand what are the components or the parameters that consist of you. How are you engineered? What are your gifts and talents? What are your personal experiences? And for those who've been following us online, you know a lot of our presenters have talked about this. Right? What are the things that constitute you, your passions, your core values, your notice needs? See, for me, as I think back in my life, I remember when it comes to gifts, this young experience of when I realized that I had a certain, scientific mind. It's like yesterday, right? Preschool. We're in the lunchroom. We sitting down on those little wooden chairs. Y'all remember those wooden chairs in preschool? Yeah. And you look at them now, you're like, how in the world are I even sitting there? We sitting at the lunchroom table, my best friend is in front of me, this girl next to me, and they're arguing, going back and forth. I don't know what preschoolers are arguing about. You can't go to my birthday party. So what? I want to go to your birthday party. Nah, that is going back and forth, right? And I'm just sitting there eating my Been Bread jelly sandwich. Out of nowhere, the guy on my other side all of a sudden spills his milk on the ground. And so this guy is crying about his spilled milk, literally, and they're arguing, and I'm just trying to eat my PB&J. But at that moment, something went down. The milk is in the front of my feet because I'm in the middle of all of this. And so I look at the milk and I look up at my best friend who's sitting in front of me and he said, hey, kick that milk on her. And I said, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with this. That's y'all. I don't want no beef. I looked at her and she was like, you better not. I looked back at my friend. He's like, hey, you my friend, right? Kick the milk on her. Dude's crying. He's up here looking at me, and I started to get nervous. I was like, oh, he's my boy. What? Should I not let him down? I look at the girl, she's like, I dare you to do it. And I'm just in the middle of this. He's crying, oh, my milk. She's like, you gonna kick it or what? And he's like, you gonna kick it or what? And then we're looking at each other, and I'm in the middle of it. I'm just standing there, feeling kind of stressful, and all of a sudden, I just thought to myself, yo, you can kick milk? No, I didn't get it. In that moment, I remember vividly, I've kicked rocks before. I've kicked a ball before, but I've never kicked a liquid. How do you kick a liquid? And so it's all of a sudden, all around me, it turned into my personal laboratory, Reggie, right? I'm right in the middle of this, and I'm like, all right, so if I was to kick the milk, how would one kick a milk? It's not very high off the ground, so maybe I would need to position my foot barely off the ground to hit the cross-section of the surface tension on the side. I don't know what I'm gonna do, right? So I'm in that moment, he's looking at what we're gonna do, everybody, but I'm just in my lab. I'm in my own lab trying to figure this thing out. So I had a hypothesis, maybe if I just skim the top of the milk. But I wasn't trying to kick the milk on her, so don't judge me. I wasn't trying to kick the milk. So I said, all right, let me just see what happens if I just lightly skim it, right? So I just went skim. Immediately I'm snapped out of my laboratory answer, Nehemiah, come here. What the? It was Miss Johnson. She was watching the whole thing. Come here, Nehemiah. Oh, man. I was studying. No, it wasn't Nehemiah. She called my teacher, Miss Wilson. You know Nehemiah tried to kick the milk on a girl. He said, and I'm like, I can't, I didn't have the vocabulary to explain what I knew, Justin. If I did, I would have said, my dear teacher, I was really testing my hypothesis of applying the impact force to a fluid of low viscosity to see if it would behave as a projectile and try any meaningful trajectory. But something tells me she wouldn't have believed that anyway. So the day goes on, my friend and the girl, they make up, they're good, playing blocks together. The guy over here, he's had 2 milks by now, and here I am over in the corner doing data analysis all by myself. Because I want to answer the question, can you kick milk? So that day was pretty sad, but as I look back on it, as my young self, this kid who somehow turned a random incident into a scientific experiment, I realized that that was a defining moment that helped me understand my gift for thinking critically, scientifically, technically. Does that make sense? Say true? True. What's your defining moment? What comes to your mind as you think back when you were young? What are some things that, oh man, I remember this seemed like to be something that was so obvious to me, but other people didn't quite notice it? What was your defining moment? As I look at the next thing, I look at my personal experiences, right? There are things in my life, now I know we got a lot of different ages, right? Shout out to my college students, I really want you to get this, right? But if you think back on your life, I have personal experiences where there were, let me see if y'all have any overlap in my childhood, right? So I'll just do a quick name this real quick, all right? So when we didn't have cable, right? And my parents didn't want to be cable, right? We didn't have internet. And so my days, my afternoons would consist of hearing these familiar sounds. Let's see if y'all get this one, all right? Y'all know what this is? What is it? Down Main Street. Y'all know the words? Next thing that you know, you fit what in the neighborhood? Octopus in the eye. Some people know the words. Let's do the next one, do the next one. That was a big part of my childhood. Do the next one, do the next one. All right, so there's this one, right? There's that one. And then there's this. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Bill. I don't know why I feel like doing a robot act. All right, here goes. Stop. One more. Here's the next one. See if y'all know this one.
Every day when you're walking down the street.
Yeah, everybody that's to me. Have what? Come on, y'all, give me music. And then I say, hey, what a wonderful time of day. So you can learn to work and play and get along with each other. We know the words. You gotta listen to the rhythm of the street. Open up your. He know it. We're working together. I hear and it comes from the heart. Oh, believe in yourself. He said, and I say, hey, what a wonderful time of day. So you can learn to work and we're hey, get along with each other. What a wonderful time of day. What a wonderful time of day. Okay. Hey, this is what over here, right? Hey. That's enough TV for today.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. That was my mom. Shout out to my mom, she's here. That's enough TV time, as she called it. Enough screen time. So now I found myself in a situation where I had to go outside and I had to find something fun to do. All right, y'all know, here's my childhood challenge, right? Fun, yeah, that was a nostalgia memory, right? Finding something fun to do. And so that brought me to a situation where I was able to discover things that I really enjoy outside of passively consuming TV. Now here's the thing. What do you find fun to do to keep you from being bored? That's a clue. That's a clue what may be your passion. What do you find that's fun to do? So for me, right, I had this thing called a junk drawer. Right? Anybody have like a junk drawer, like the top part of my dresser drawer? Everything was in there, right? Crazy stuff in there. I had like broken hangers, Pringle cans. I know how Pringle cans, like, I can use this for something, I don't know. Pringle cans, I kid you not, I even had like a jawbone of a dead deer in there. Yeah, I know, it's pretty crazy, right? But in my mind, this wasn't just a junk drawer, Prashad. This was my maker space, if you will. This was my laboratory, right? This is where I had all my fun, because I knew one day I was going to create something awesome. And so I would just find myself deep in thought at times when I couldn't watch TV, thinking about what I wanted to create. And I would just think about it, right? And you know something's your passion when it brings you energy? When you think about it, you get energy when you think about it. And so it would come to mind, I was like, oh, in deep thought, I would say, oh, I got it. And I would get so excited. And so I would get off from the toilet, and then I would go in. All right, whatever. All right. So I would go into the room, and I would start creating this thing. And I would put all my all to it, and I would go to my parents, and I would say, look, Mom, Dad, look what I made. Look what I made. Look at this. Isn't it cool? And they would respond, is that a jawbone of a dead deer? Well, if you don't get that out of my house. But it was something I enjoyed. And so I remember going to the store, looking at different things I could do, different things I could create, right? And I was in this particular store called Books A Million, R.I.P. Books A Million. I think, are they still around? Okay, cool. So Toys R Us is the one that's not around anymore, right? Oh man, but Books A Million, right? I was in there. Well, Toys R Us, I remember I was in there, moment of silence for Toys R Us. And I would always tell my mom, oh, here's a toy that I like. Mom, who is it? Can I get this new Ninja Turtle toy? That's a bigger Ninja Turtle. And she would say to me, something y'all probably heard before. You got Ninja Turtle money? I'm like, yo, I didn't know they had Ninja Turtle money. Oh, yo, look at this new Stretch Armstrong with the trusty sidekick. You got Stretch Armstrong with the trusty sidekick money? But this was one that was very educational, right? I came to this place, and I saw on the shelf, it was like a Doug T's pantyhose. It was the Adventures Workshop. Yo, they had popsicle sticks that had never been in anybody's mouth. They had rubber bands that were not dirty. They had everything that I needed. And I searched the web for this. This is from 1998, y'all. I found the web trying to find this picture. I had to go way back in there. But I begged my mom, hey, Mom, can I please have this dinner workshop? I promise you I'll do all my chores, I'll be obedient. She's like, you're supposed to do that. What are you talking about? No, please, I really need this. And so she said to me, no. You got Adventures Workshop money? So of course we left Books A Million that day, and I didn't have it, right? I was pretty salty about it, you know what I'm saying, going through the week. Man, if I had Adventures Workshop money, I wouldn't be using this jawbone right now. My mom and I patting each other, good morning, good morning. But then a couple of days later, Gino, I come into the room, and there it was on my bed. The Adventures Workshop. Never again, Karen, did I have to pull things out of the closet. I actually had batteries, I had dye, I had everything I needed to create what I like. And I realized that this became my passion. And so this became, for me, another defining moment of who I was when I checked my design. What are your core values? Are you a person that really believes in honesty and integrity? Are you a person that really believes in family? Are you a person that really believes in giving to people? What are the core values that make up who you are? Well, these are the parameters of your design. And so checking the design means becoming more self-aware of who you are. Now, it's very important because you're going to find yourself in a situation where these core values are going to be tested, because one of my core values is persistence. What is it? Persistence. Take a moment and write down what yours is. Take a moment and write it down real quick. This is not my only one. I have other core values, but write down just a few of them, because you're going to have to look at this. What is something that you consider to be a very integral part of who you are as a person? Not what you post online, but what is at your core? These things will be tested. For me, they were in this process that most engineers, maybe not all engineers, but certain disciplines of engineers have to experience. And that is this process of becoming a licensed professional engineer. Anybody heard of the PE before? Y'all heard of the PE? All right. So here's the thing. PE is it means professional engineer. And so not all engineers need this to practice, but in my field, civil engineering, structural engineering is a big thing, right, Ben? All right. So you have to get the PE in order to be licensed to actually start a firm. You cannot, it's illegal to start a firm and call that firm engineering if you don't have an engineering license. You can't stamp your name on some drawings and actually be the engineer of record if you don't have a PE. And so obviously, I had to go through this process if I want to get to that point. And so this process is very, very straightforward, right? If you look at the industry, you know that the first step is earning an engineering bachelor's degree from an ABET accredited university. That's the first step, right? So I got a BS in civil engineering, and for whatever reason, I thought it was a good idea to stay in school another 7 years.
So I checked that box a couple of times. Came to NC State, got a PhD. Now when you finish your bachelor's degree, you take another test where you take the first test, which is called the Fundamentals of Engineering exam. If you pass this FE, as we call it, you become an EIT, which stands for Engineering Trainee or Engineering Intern, right? This is the first test that basically tests you over everything you study in your undergrad. They say, all right, cool, your degree is valid. You got it from an ABET accredited school, which is NC State, one of them, right? Shout out NC State. And then you get to take your actual FE. Here's the thing, I didn't have much trouble with the FE. I took the FE as soon as I finished. It's a broad test all day. I remember like kind of falling asleep towards the end of the test, but I got the results back and I passed. I was like, hey, cool. After that, now the order changed a little bit, but after that, they expect you to get at least 4 years of practical experience under a licensed PE. Now, I got to jump on this because, again, I started working in engineering before I even got to college. So I was at NASA doing stuff. Not only that, they give you a credit for getting a master's degree for 1 year. They give you another year credit for getting a PhD. So when I finished my PhD in 2015, within that same year, I was eligible to go to the final step, and that is take and pass the professional engineering licensing exam. That's how you become a PE. So by this time, when I'm ready to go ahead and apply for this, right, your boy's feeling himself. I mean, I got a PhD. How hard can a test be? I've taken plenty of tests. Bring it on, bring it on. So within the same year, I just got my PhD. I've been to school long. I've been engineering experience, checked all that. So I go into it, and I was like, yo, let me go and knock this out. I didn't even study, and apparently, I failed. I was cocky, I was feeling myself. So someone said, all right, maybe you should try this thing called studying. So I said, all right, cool, I'm gonna study, right? I'm gonna study, right? So here's the thing about the test, just so you know. There is an 8-hour exam. There's the morning portion, which covers the broad engineering topics, generally within your discipline. So civil engineering, it's like broadly civil engineering in the morning, first 4 hours. Then afternoon, they go in depth. So me, I'm a structural engineer, so you go really in depth. I didn't know what was hitting me that first time because I just kept getting knocked on top of my head. And so obviously I failed my first attempt. But I said, all right, I'm going to study this second time around. And so what I decided to do is start studying, start putting in my hours, right? And then I think it was towards April. You can only take it 2 times a year, April and October. We started getting close to it, and then my wife started, she was about to have, what is it, when your stomach get big? A baby. Our first daughter was born, and so I said, you know what? This is a legit reason to stop studying, guys. I mean, my wife is going through these, labor pains, all of this stuff. As a matter of fact, whoever grades this exam, they'll understand. Well, apparently somebody didn't tell the people that graded the exam because my second attempt was a failure. You gotta be kidding me, man, because here's the thing, I got a PhD, man. Why am I failing the exam? And so this third time around, I got I felt kind of weird because I went to take PE. Again, you have to take, wait, I did 6 months before you take it. I'm going in there, and I'm seeing people who are in undergrad while I was here doing my PhD taking it with me. And they're like, yo, Nehemiah, what's going on, man? You didn't pass this yet? I'll be doing STEMedia stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out. But I was still very active. I went in there, I gave it the best I had. And it's funny because when you take this exam, they don't tell you your results immediately when you're done. You have to wait 8 to 10 weeks, and then you just get a random email and say, hey, your results have arrived. And you go to the website with your heart beating all fast, like, oh snap, you're gonna pass? And then you see it, and then that's just it. If you pass, they don't tell you how much score you got. It's just you pass. If you fail, they'll show you everything you got wrong, and you don't know how close you were to passing. So that third time, I'm like, all right, cool. By this time, I've done enough studying for one solid attempt. Sure enough, third time in a row. Didn't they say 3 is a charm? Guys, this doesn't feel good because when that 8 to 10 week time expires, I'm on social media and I'm seeing the people that I used to mentor saying, yes, I passed the PE. And you giving them likes, trying to, oh, congratulations, bro. I didn't want to tell people that I took it again. Hey, Nehemiah, how'd that exam go? What exam? I don't know what you're talking about. So it's really hard for me to deal with this because, again, I feel like I have more than exceeded what it took to pass this exam. And so all those thoughts from sophomore year in high school, all those thoughts when I was a young person saying I was an engineer, but really feeling unsettled inside myself, began to rush back in my adult years. My core value of persistence was being tested. I began to again question, if I'm supposed to be doing this, why am I failing this so many times? Is this really my purpose? So humbly, I went into this fourth attempt. I said, all right, I'm going to take this thing again. I'm going to make sure that I'm in a positive space. I'm not consume myself with the fact that I'm going to see people there that are much, much younger than me taking this exam. I'm going to see people there who are, get this, working for the examinees who remember my face from the last couple of times. All right, what up, man? I guess it didn't work out for you. Humbly, I go in, and this time, I want you to know, North Carolina School Center, I was actually like in a vibe that time. I was feeling it. Like, it had a totally different energy. I'm in there just like knowing what the answer is without even doing calculations sometimes. I'm like, yo, boom, this is it. I know it. I've seen this enough time. Feeling good. Lunchtime with a break, I'm dapping people up. How you doing? People not looking too good. For whatever reason, I just had a very, very light experience, light spirits by that time. So we went through that whole period of time, and needless to say that this particular time ended in fail as well. I failed 4 times, y'all. Now I speak, right, and I often think about, all right, how am I going to say this in a message one day? I thought 3 times was going to be like a nice, cute story. All right, cool. I can say, oh, I struck out, and then I came back and won on the 4th time, but I failed the 4th time as well. That one killed me. That one crushed me. My wife is over there. If you talk to her, my faith was shattered. There were things I was questioning about everything. Why am I failing this so many times? Is my PhD, does that mean anything? Did I just happen to get lucky? And you think that sometimes, right? That's called imposter syndrome. Like, I'm only here because I got lucky. I'm not really meant to be here. And so I began to think that about myself. Even though I'm getting paid to be an engineer, this isn't really my purpose. I have all these insecurities. But my core value was persistence, so I decided to go and try to take this thing one more time.
That's right.
So I take this thing one more time, and this was like, again, if you fail 3 times in a row, you got to wait a whole year before you take it again. If you fail again, another 6 months. And after this 4th time, my wife started to have like, what else, you know, when your wife gives, she started having another baby. This particular baby, that's Mariah, our youngest daughter, she was born in February. Now, I knew what happened last time. I realized that the proctors don't care nothing about you having a baby. It's either you pass or you fail. And so my wife and I worked out a deal. I'm studying in the room, literally studying for the PE in the hospital room, holding the baby when she's crying, studying, right? Newborn baby. Because this thing is something that has been hanging over my head for a long time. I had a support, and so I went into this 5th exam, not talking to anybody. I'm walking up in there, I'm seeing people that saw me from last time, I'm just throwing the deuces. They hold this exam in the McKimmon Center. Y'all know what the McKimmon Center is, right? Now, I was happy this time because if they fill up the main room, so many people were taking it, if they fill up the main room, then you gotta go take it in the side room, and you don't see a whole lot of people being. And so I was in the side room, I was like, yeah, I don't wanna see nobody. So I went in, and oftentimes I'm closing patterns. The morning, I usually like kill the morning. It's really easy, right? I look back in the morning, I'm only missed like maybe 2, 3 at most problems. So the morning was perfect. I went out feeling good the morning, and then I look at my phone, go to my car, we couldn't bring our phones in, go to my car, and I see a bunch of missed calls from my wife. Called back real quick, and she says, "Babe, can you come home right now?" Halfway through the PE, what do you mean come on? I almost didn't take the phone. No, come on right now. And I said, what's wrong? And so she said, no, everything is okay. Now, how many people know that that meant that everything was not okay? I rushed home, called her, what's going on? Come to find out, our daughter Mariah was sleeping, and somehow she ended up turning over. My wife found her, like pale, not breathing, unresponsive. And I'm getting this in the middle of the PE. So I run home and I see the fire trucks. My wife's outside, it's cold. Everyone is looking frantic. My daughter, by the time she's responsive, she's here. She's the one crying in the back, and she's looking like, what's going on? But this completely shook me out of the mode of taking the PE. We're looking at the people that say, should we go to the emergency room? What should we do? We want to make sure she's okay. They say, you know what, go to the emergency room, take her to her doctor. And so at this point, again, I'm not even thinking about this PE. I'm in the car, we're driving to the doctor's, and we get to a pediatrician. Hey, what's going on? My wife is explaining. My wife is starting to calm down. She's nervous. I'm already like, man, here I am pursuing this goal. And my family is, something's happened to my family. Come on, you've got to tell me if this is the purpose, because I do not want to lose someone I love over something that's not meant for me. So I'm questioning this again in the middle of it. The doctor tells us that, okay, she's good. She's going to be fine. She's just having to stop breathing for a while. We'll stay on tap. And so in the middle of that, that's when initially the thought came right back in my mind. Was, hey, should I go back and finish the speed? I look at my wife and she says, no, you go back and finish that. You studied when I was in labor. There's no way you're going to make that semester. So we told the doctors. My wife took me back for the second half of the exam, and I finished the second half of the exam. Again, left without speaking to anybody. At this point, I was beefing with the PE. If the PE was a person, we would have been fighting on site. I promise you. So I didn't want to talk about it. Dead serious. 8 to 10 weeks passed, right? I get that email, and this is what happens in the email, right? Now, me being a person who is like STEMedia, I always think about content. And so the first couple of times I said, oh, I'm gonna make a video where I talk to myself before the exam, after the exam. So I recorded before footage. And then when I failed, I was like, I don't need this footage anymore. I did that a couple of times, right? So this time I just happened to record myself. So I decided that I'm gonna set these this results in the office when nobody else is there. Because I didn't want them to see me. In fact, some of them didn't even know I took the exam again. So I went back into the office, literally after work, in my regular clothes, and I said, all right, I'm going to see if I pass this thing, and then no one's going to see how I respond to it. So I'm pulling up the exam, I open the thing, my eyes are scanning the page. This is candid behind the scenes footage, y'all. Never before seen. I said, pray, y'all.
Finally! Oh my goodness! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Yo, this feels so good. Let me show y'all. Look at this. Look at that. Pass, baby. Pass. 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 Finally! 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 Woo. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
All right, so that was my experience where I finally. Again, that's April 2019. We're talking about this is a couple of months fresh right here, that video. But this is why it's important, right? It's important because you're going to find yourself in situations where if you haven't made sure that you've got very clear and secure on what you're supposed to be doing, where you've been called to do your engineered purpose, then you're going to be tested. And that brings me to my last point. You have to realize it's bigger than you. I realized that part of the reason why I went through all this gear is for this moment right here. I had bad grades in school. I had some pretty low grades. Like Justin said, it's like, yo, what's going on? But not everything you go through is just for you to acquire something. It's not just you to get what you can, you to secure the bag, put what you can, what you get, and sit on your can. Ultimately, your purpose is bigger than you. It's bigger than you. That's the reason why STEMedia even exists. Because I have this passion and this purpose to elevate and inspire. It's one thing for me to get a check as an engineer, but it's another thing to where my success can lead to one of your success. That's the reason why we even had this thing called the STEM Success Summit. And I'm glad y'all signed up because you can go and watch some of the past videos from other individuals like me. These people came from other cities because they realized that it's not just about their success, but the success of others. Krishad, who opened us up, he came from the Bahamas, y'all. He flew from the Bahamas because he believed in this thing. Justin from New York, we got Charlotte, we got from Nashville, Tennessee. You have to get to the point to where you realize that your purpose is bigger than you. That's why you can't give up. Right here at this university, in the College of Engineering, we've had some pretty rough times. But I want you to know in here, in case you're wondering, you have a purpose not just to contribute what you have, but a purpose that's bigger than you that extends beyond you. So I started this talk talking about my girls. And I realized that my purpose, the reason why I have to fulfill it, because by fulfilling my purpose, our girls have a better shot at fulfilling theirs. Your success is tied to someone else. So you can't give up. Don't give up. So what is so what you have to take it again? Y'all saw me with a PhD taking an exam 5 times. People who don't extend, some people I know who I work with who didn't even get a bachelor's degree were able to still finish it, pass it. But here I am being tested. And when you're tested, you have to rely on your why. You have to go back and look at who is it? This is the last thing I want you to write down. Who is it in your life that your purpose is tied to? Go ahead and write down. It can be a mom. It can be a best friend. Who is counting on you to graduate? Who really is going to be counting on you to graduate? Write it down. Write it down. You're going to be tested. Who is that person that when you walk across the stage, or when you get your first paycheck, it's going to be happy because it's them? Who are those people whose purpose is linked to you engineering yours? It's going to be tested. So if you ever find yourself questioning it, negative thoughts come into your head. I'm not good enough. What's the use? Man, I feel like giving up. And no one values what I have to bring. And you ever find yourself, after finding that purpose, beginning to form your lips to actually say the words, I quit. I want you to remember this. To you, I say these words. Get that out of your mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nehemiah Mabry.
We're about to wrap up, but just in case you're interested, I'm going to bring Kalia back up, Kalia and Justin. In case you have any questions, we're going to take just a few minutes for a quick Q&A. If you are at high school, you're an engineering student, if you heard our presentations, you heard what we talked about, if you have a question that you want to ask any of us, we want to give you that opportunity. All right? So can I get somebody from the team to get a mic to help make sure we circulate the mic? We want to make sure, we're so thankful that you all came. But if you have a question to ask, go ahead and raise your hand. We're going to give you an opportunity to ask it.
So, and I wanted to have everybody from the STEM Success team come up real quick. I just want to give y'all like a huge shout. So, man, these are all amazing people. These are all role models to you all. If you all could just, really quick while we're getting set up for this next thing, if you all could just introduce yourselves and just 10 seconds, tell us what you do. And somebody in here, make sure you guys talk to these people. These are my role models, right? They should definitely be yours. So can we just go down the line here?
Good evening, I'm Krishad Lang, born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas. Studied civil engineering and engineering technologies at universities in the States. And right now I'm a STEM educator. I facilitate STEM programs in the form of after-school programs, summer camps, workshops, pop-up events. And I facilitate about 400 kids a week on island where I'm from. And like Justin said, these people are my biggest motivation. For me, it's kind of like a starstruck moment being here right now, because I followed STEMedia. I was all over Mr. Fascinate's page, stealing ideas and content, and now I get to work with these people. And so thank you all for being here this evening, and I'll pass it to Mr. Donovan.
away right now. My name is Donovan Colquitt. I'm from Detroit, Michigan originally. I'm currently a student at Purdue University getting my PhD in engineering education, as well as a master's in technology, innovation, and leadership with a specialization in STEM education leadership. I gotta say it all, just so y'all know. I'm studying how minoritized youth leverage and access engineering and entrepreneurship so that they can build their own businesses and impact their communities, because I know that they are the change, they are our future, and I want to be a part of that story so I can tell it right and give it the best push ever. I'm also the owner, founder of the Scholars Key, which I won $1.25 million in high school, and I wrote a book that same year to motivate other teams to apply for scholarships. There's a ton of money out there just waiting for y'all to get it. I will help you out. Just my contact is Donovan Colquitt on Instagram. You can find me wherever. But I just want to see y'all win. And these are winners. And I'm humbled to be on this stage in front of you all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naomi Thomas. I'm from Philly, born in Philly, raised in South Jersey. I'm currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. I attended college at University of North Carolina at Charlotte and UNCG, Greensboro. I study business management and also participate in a couple coding boot camps. Those are really valuable if you want to learn computer science or basic skills, computing skills, attend some coding boot camps locally. I currently run a digital marketing company called Boss Business Market. We have 3 brands. One is called First Class, where we manage personal brands for industry executives and leaders. And then also we have a company called DigiHouse, where we manage business social media accounts. And then I'm a huge advocate for women and minorities in tech, and we have a company called STEM Station. We provide STEM education consulting, and I'm also on social media at I am Naomi Thomas, where I'm always trying to encourage and empower women to pursue entrepreneurship and technology as well. And yeah, so feel free to reach out. I would love to talk to anyone, and I'm so happy that you guys are here. This is an amazing event, an amazing group of people, and I'm just a resource, and we're all amazing people as well. So passing off the stuff.
Or not, I was to say good morning. I'm not nervous. But my name is Stephanie Castillo. I'm a Latina in STEM from Venezuela, but right now I'm currently pursuing my PhD in science communication, but I am a trained chemist, getting my master's in that. But my goal is to be a science filmmaker so we can bring more representation into these space and into our screen, just to share the stories of my fellow colleagues, just to continue to inspire the next generation of students who wants to go and pursue STEM. You can follow me at Future Doctors, working on starting our own business with training other high school students or undergraduate students who want to go into science filmmaking. So that's my goal for the future. And it'll be Future Doctors with a PH.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ricky Venters. Honored to be here with everyone tonight. Had an awesome time listening to all the presenters, from the speakers to the performers. I'm from New York, but I come from Maryland. My background is mechanical engineering. I've been practicing for around 15 years now. Got my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, master's in mechanical engineering, and I got my professional engineering license around 5 years ago now. So, like I said, I'm excited to be here. I own 3 companies, engineering, solar engineering company, a speaking consultant business. I've authored 2 books, 1 bestseller on Amazon. And I say all that stuff because when my teacher told me that the closest I can get to STEM is work behind a cash register at McDonald's. Yeah. So now my story now is just to go back and say, man, if I can do it, I know anyone in this room can do it. So thank you for coming out.
All right, so got a couple final words for us.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to announce a couple more people. First of all, y'all give it up again for the STEM Success Summit team. Go along, check out the videos. I just want to give a shout out to my man Justin Schaefer for MC. Did he do a good job, y'all? I told Justin, having him here, it feels like it's like 2 of me right now. My church people know what I'm talking about. I feel like I had another me where I can just do that while he was doing this. So here's the thing. I want to say thank you to someone who's been a manager and friend to me, who's helped me. One of the first people I pitched this idea to, and that's Ms. Monica Cutno, if she can stand up with her hand. All right, yes. I also want to acknowledge the WMEP office, the Women in Minority Engineering Programs office. Ms. Angie Daniels just left, but I want to acknowledge also Dr. Laura Bottomley, who I put on the spot. She manages the Women in Engineering Programs here at NC State, who's been very helpful. I just want to acknowledge all of you all for coming out. I have to also, I'll be remiss, I don't want to miss anybody, but I'll be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my beautiful wife right here, who's been taking up the input. And we're definitely going to do a Q&A. Shout out to our DJ Norm over here. On the ones and twos. My man Gino, who brought the music at the beginning. And Kalia Braswell, who came all the way down from Philly just to be here.
Can we just give it up one time for Nehemiah, please? That's all I had to say. When I got the call, I was like, say less. I'm there. So thank you.
All right, cool. He's going to explain how we're going to do the Q&A.
All right, y'all. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll break out and we'll do a free-for-all Q&A. I know everybody probably heard somebody say something that resonated with them, right? Yeah, make sure you guys come up and talk to these people. Maybe me, I don't know if you want to, and Kalia as well, because these people are here for you all. It costs a lot of money to get these people to give advice, usually, but they are here for free for you guys right now. So what we're going to do is have maybe everybody just break off into different sections of the auditorium, and then you guys can come up to us and ask us questions. But do not be shy. This is an amazing opportunity, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're not going to see this much talent on a stage until the next STEM Success Summit. So maybe, 2020, just wait on it. So thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing event, and you guys are absolutely awesome.
Now you may not have to carry it on my stuff. All right, I know. Take care, man. Huh? Take care.
Yeah, that's all. If you haven't left, then come back and come back this time.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you.